So guys, Call of Duty Cold War has been announced, and perhaps it is the most interesting trailer I have seen. It has become the biggest lead pill to the mainstream or mediocre audience of gamers, and for many reasons there's to this as well. I didn't want to get political on this, but this trailer has been quite interesting. So let's go take a quick look at what I was on about this trailer, which looks absolutely awesome, and let's dive in to the theory of the new Black Ops game, possibly.
Understand what's going on around you. You are in a state of war, and you have precious little time to save yourself. It's a slow process, which we call active measures. The first stage being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. The next stage is destabilization. What matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. The next stage is crisis, with a violent change of power, structure, and economy. Period of normalization. This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C., who will promise lots of things, never mind whether the promises are fulfillable or not. The time bomb is ticking. With every second, the disaster is coming closer and closer. The danger is real.
So guys, when you looked at that trailer, you might have thought there was a bit thing sinister behind there, but it's okay, we're not going to go completely into the politics of all this. But this is massively important for both reasons. For the fact of the culture war that we're all suffering through right now, and the new progression of the new Call of Duty Cold War game. And there's a lot of things of detail to be trying to go through at once. And if you're going to look at the politics side of this, go and watch it on Here It Goes Again. I will make sure you find that somehow, and you will find it with that name alone. And so we're going to be talking about the Call of Duty trailer. So, who's that guy we're talking about? That guy was called Yuri Bezmenov. He was a former KGB director in the Cold War in the KGB. And as we all know, they were part of the USSR, which was part of a thing, everyone forgot about. And that was the old Russia, which I do believe it's still there. And fundamentally enough, it's still quite relevant in the modern warfare campaign in a way. They might just call a different name, but the USSR is probably still quite highly in that game itself. Not the one that came out recently, but the ones that came out a few years ago where we had a World War III scenario and all that. So, what do I pick from this whole conversation? Well, the fact that we're on about Yuri Bezmenov, and he talks about these things called active measures. And these is, as he said, these are active measures to demoralize a country and make sure somebody greater can come over and just take over the situation. Which means that when things happen in the America, it's been going on for years. They have been demoralizing countries since 15 to 20 years. And it takes to chaos to happen, then normalization. Which is kind of what Portland, Oregon looks like in all of these socialist held areas that's been going on in America. And that's why the riots and protests have been going so fucking nuts recently. But we'll talk about them more than the other one. So what does this have to do with Call of Duty Warzone? Or what does this have to do with Call of Duty in general? Well, the fact of the story element of this game could actually be related to what the Yuri Bezmenov's active measures are. Because there was word back in the day, well, Yuri, we've never fucking known the guy. He was in a few interviews and that happened a few years ago. And then, vanished. Never heard from him again, and we have no idea where the fucking guy went. Not a joke, this is actually a thing. We have no idea where Yuri went, and he actually vanished. And this was him obviously exposing the KGB. And a lot of these things that came back as rumors of what was going on in the 1960s and during the Cold War was elements of KGB agents coming to America and the Western countries and trying to destabilize them by going to the movie theaters, going to the music industry, trying to go all to these different industries like politics and so on, and allowing the influence of socialism to be implemented into these companies and industries of power and so on, to allow the communist idea to be allowed in the people. Also, it's a better version of trying to invade a country instead of, actually invading the country like Red Dawn does. But that scenarios was completely different back then. So we're talking about the means of active measures, and there was loads of these KGB agents that went in, and when this ties in back to the Call of Duty games, it does tie in. Okay, it ties in quite nicely. Because the last time we saw was Mason and Woods going against Menendez in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And that ended in, let's say, a few things happened I not want to talk about. Because I don't want to give you guys spoilers that you haven't played the game. You must play Call of Duty Black Ops and Black Ops 2. Those are fucking brilliant games to come out of that company or that brand for the last few years, and they're still fun to play as. And I'm still finding new things about Black Ops 2. It's awesome. So go and watch it out. So where could this implement into the Warzone campaign and the, Call of Duty Black Ops? Well, we'll take a look at this guy here. This guy was shown up as the, picture of the Call of Duty Cold War brand as this soldier. One side is a soldier with glasses full of communist propaganda, and then a US soldier, which is obvious, in American propaganda, where a lot of things back in the Cold War was to do with propaganda. Who's going to be influenced more? Who's going to trust the government more? And it was pretty much no wonder things went a bit of a shit show, and no wonder some of the things that happened back then ended up in bloody riots. Well, I think, like a few people pointed out, I didn't realize this until the very end, but I believe the guy who's wearing the sunglasses is Hudson from Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2. Hudson that was interrogating Mason for the numbers that could lead to something in the game that I'm not going to tell you because I'll destroy the lore of the game, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But the numbers could have been something to do with that. And, well, Hudson was that main interrogator that worked for the CIA and is actually one of the most clarified characters that we can actually know more about in the game. And we're not going to talk about him that much because there's plenty of things to talk about instead of him. But if he is in connection with this could be very interesting. So what does this have to do with Verdansk and Warzone? Well, if it didn't show up in every other trailer that's shown up so far, like this little teaser trailer says, real conspiracies aren't conspiracies, you lead like that, same as a lot of the Instagram posts, Verdansk, blackened out as well. It's an old-fashioned type lighting as well, which is quite cool. Verdansk, August 26th, which is literally tomorrow from this video, or could be today, because I will be watching this as well. And, well, there could be many things that could be happening in Verdansk, but we know that from the story before, this could have a massive implement of the future of Modern Warfare itself, and this could be very interesting, because if Verdansk, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and the Black Ops series is connected to that universe, or that another universe of games, this is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, and it's going to be very interesting to know about. So, what could we think could happen? Well, I think there's going to be a nuclear missile launch, because we know the thing of Modern Warfare's Warzone, if you go to plunder stage, where you catch all the money, if you go to the park, and then you type in a certain code, here you can find it on Google, it's that good now, it's that well known, you can actually go to the bunker and look inside the bunker and full of crates and that, but you will find a nuclear missile ready to fucking go. And if you don't know the history of Verdansk, it is a city set in Castovia. So it's quite interesting back then. The whole reason of Verdansk was to be built, which looks like to be very obvious, this is my opinion here, that the entire intent was to build nuclear weapons with the communists and the Americans, because this was I think it was like a project that they both worked together, and on the outside say, hey look, we can work together. You know, after the USSR fell, and it was something more like we can work together, so we built a city, you know, where people can live and be happy and all that. And then we're building nuclear weapons underneath the thing, so it's absolutely no one's jurisdiction to not build them. Yeah, thanks to the world for stopping that people for not making weapons. But they still do it. So what I think could be interesting here, we could be seeing a nuclear missile launch, but we could be talking about this forevermore. And we will want to talk about this way more. And if you want to talk about the politics of this, follow Here He Goes Again on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as well as this AJK videos. You must make sure you keep aware of the content, because this is one big red pill, and there's also one big interesting what could be happening in the new Call of Duty game. So thank you guys for watching this video, and hope to see you guys in the next one, where we talk about the fandom, DC fandom thing. So let's go, and thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe, and see you later. Thank you.